Hey friend, Roger Christofferson here again with another first listen review. Now it's kind of a first listen review. This is going to be a reissue of Typo Negative's Dead Again. It just came out yesterday. The re-release did anyway. The original album actually came out in 2007. Now, Typo Negative is just one of these bands that's really hard to categorize. Peter Steele himself actually came up with a weird name for the style of music, and for the life of me I can't remember what he called it, but it was something along the lines of vampire or Transylvanian metal or something like that. It's something to do with sounding like vampires or something like that. I cannot remember for the life of me what he called it, but I'm sure somebody out there remembers and can come up with it. But anyway, they're kind of a slow, dirgy goth metal type style, but really that doesn't describe them very closely either, because they kind of transcended a few different genres. But anyway, Peter Steele, he had a previous band called Carnivore, which I have a couple, bootlegs and whatever from them, and find those kind of interesting. But you can definitely hear the difference in what he transformed from into, Typo Negative. That band broke up, and there's a couple other different name changes they went through before Typo Negative. But I didn't really discover these guys. I'd read about them and stuff in magazines and whatever. Didn't know much about them. They didn't play the stuff on the radio back then. And I got the album October Rust, so I was a little bit slow to the, because they had like 3 albums out before that, I believe. So, I didn't really, get into them until then. And when I tell you, it was kind of a shock to the system listening to it, because their production style, the guitar tone, just everything about them, the Peter Steele's vocals are like so deep and like dark. It's just, I never heard anything like it before, so I thought it was kind of cool. I think the reason I got that was because of their version of Black Sabbath they did for the tribute album there, the Nativity in Black, I think it was on. And I thought it was interesting. It didn't sound anything like Black Sabbath, but thought it was a cool song, so I checked it out. And the rest of the album was quite a bit different than that, but their slower songs are really kind of slow and creepy. They had a cover of Neil Young's Cinnamon Girl, which actually was my least favorite thing they've ever done, quite honestly. I don't know why they chose to do that, but whatever, do whatever they want. Was my least favorite thing they ever did. So I actually went back and got their earlier stuff and kind of followed them from that point on, and really enjoyed them over the years. Now this album was the last album they ever made. Peter Steele unfortunately passed away a few years later. A couple different reasons they've said for it, tuberculosis and a heart aneurysm. I've heard a couple different things, so not sure what the actual final verdict was on that, but unfortunately he was only 48 years old. And you're looking at the guy, he was like 7 foot tall and just like muscular and strong, and you would picture somebody like that ever like passing away that young. But I guess looks can be deceiving, but that's unfortunate, because I made some like really cool music, I think. The other thing that this album had going for it was the first time they'd used live drums for several albums. I think 3 previous albums they just used a drum machine, even though John Kelly had been credited for playing drums on those albums. It was actually a drum machine, but so there's actually real drums on this one. So they were getting back to the real full band sound. And I always liked the album. It wasn't one that I pulled out and listened to over and over again, but I definitely enjoyed it. The bonus stuff on this one, I didn't really notice anything different. I don't know if they remixed it or remastered it or anything like that, but it didn't sound any different to me at all. So I think it's just a reissue with some extra stuff on it. Somehow I had already had, when I got this, I'm like, I already had some of this stuff on here, so I don't know if this is just like an exclusive thing they did just for Record Store Day and they reissued it again. I don't actually know where I had this stuff from, but the Everything Dies, My Girlfriend's Girlfriend, bonus, Are You Afraid, Gravitational Constant, Christian Woman, with a Black Sabbath intro on it, and Love You to Death, and then Black Number 1. I had all that stuff before. That's like a whole nother CD there, I don't understand, but this actually comes with a bonus DVD, which is the true bonus stuff on here. I hadn't seen it before or anything or heard it, but you got a few songs from the Live at Wacken Open Air in 2007, so that was that was cool. But as far as the extra songs go, I don't know. I don't remember if this was reissued one other time. Maybe I'm missing something in here. I don't remember him doing that, but somehow I have a bonus disc already of this stuff. But anyway, because I remember hearing all this before, so I definitely have it somewhere in my collection. Anyway, that being said, it's still worth checking out. I mean, this is if you already have the album, you have the bonus stuff. Then the only thing bonus here was the whacking stuff. So if you really want that, it's worth picking up. I don't even know if this is back on any streaming platforms. For years it wasn't, so I don't know if it's back up and playing again or not. But the album's out there, and this is actually, it was hard to find. The only places I could find that were selling the reissue that I could get early ordering was Amazon, which unfortunately a lot of stuff you got to get through there anymore. At least it's the stuff you get from there is usually delivered pretty quickly and decent shape most of the time, although they sometimes stick these things in the bags and they get them all cracked and stuff, so it's kind of a bummer. But this one arrived okay, and no complaints there. But I was expecting a little bit more, and then they're actually, the record label Nuclear Blast was the other place I found it listed. You could get it, but they're I never ordered through them before, just easier to have an account with Amazon. So anyway, that's where I get a lot of my stuff. Unfortunately, that's become like the place to go for some of this stuff. If you guys have anything to add that you think I'm missing on this one, always feel free to give your opinions and stories down below. Love to hear it. I really enjoyed this band, and it was nice listening to the album again, because I really hadn't paid much attention to this album. I didn't really give it the time maybe that I should have some of the earlier ones, so it was probably good that I got it just so I could listen to it again and listen to some songs I'd actually forgotten about. So that was cool, but nothing really too much new here, unfortunately, except for the whacking stuff, or Wacken. I probably should say that correctly before I get yelled at for that. I think it's Wacken, if I remember correctly. But anyway, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, and all that fun stuff, and we'll talk to you later. See you.